SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
At Community Bank, we're more than a place to manage your money. We're your neighbors and trusted financial advisors. For decades, we've helped families, small businesses, and individuals achieve their dreams. We're dedicated to your success every step of the way. Community Bank, member FDIC.
Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Clark.
None of this meeting is recorded. None, by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Well. Good morning. How are you? It is a beautiful day, isn't it? Getting better every minute. Yeah, I'm going to have to change the intro to the show at some point. Not quite yet because we're not done, but we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I also hope you have your umbrella with you. An 80% chance of rain today. Thunderstorms possible. 80% tonight. 60% tomorrow. 80% tomorrow night. 100% chance of rain on Friday. 90% on Saturday. You're getting the message. Keep up with your umbrella. You're going to need it. Get your slicker dusted off and ready. Now, let's go right to the good stuff. Yesterday, of course, was the runoff for mayor in the city of Macomb. And the commanding victory, I'm going to call it, goes to Ward 5 Selectman Bruce Mullins, who is now the mayor-elect for the city of Macomb. Final totals, now this didn't include absentee or affidavit, but those don't matter. There weren't nearly enough to overcome the margin. Selectman Mullins got 898 votes. Mayor Lockley got 639 votes. So that's what, 159 vote difference. Selectman Mullins got 58%, Mayor-elect Mullins got 58% of the vote. And outgoing Mayor Lockley got 42% of the vote. That's a commanding victory. About the same turnout that we had last time. I don't know if you noticed that. It was very close to the same total. About 100, 150, 200 less than what showed up for the original primary, which is unusual. You don't normally see the total not drop quite a bit in a runoff. Because, 2 weeks ago we had everything just about on the ballot except for Ward 2. We'll get back to that. So everybody was motivated for their select person and for the mayor race. Yesterday it was just the mayoral race. and got basically the same turnout. Now, let's be fair. The turnout, as a total, as a percentage of the population of Macomb, not exactly earth-shattering. That would be, about 14, 15% of the population of the city of Macomb went to the polls. I've been talking about that for a long time. It's just sad in general. But with the overall turnout continuing to drop, that makes the ones who do turn out so much more important. It really comes down to turnout. Always has, but it's even more important now. Selectman Mullins, a couple of weeks ago, let's look at a couple of weeks ago at the primary, where we wound up in the runoff. And I saw some people trying to make some hay out of this in the last day or two leading up to yesterday's election. That Selectman Mullins got more votes in Ward 1 and Ward 2 than any other ward. So the mayor represents the entire city. It doesn't matter which one of the 5 wards the vote comes from, right? That's supposed to be the way it works. The mayor and the select person at large are elected by the entire city. But that's what we got down to at the end of this election. Desperately trying to find something to make Selectman Mullins look bad. I will say this to Mayor-elect Mullins right now. When they get to the point where they're trying to make a deal and make a scandal out of who voted for you, you've already won. They've got nothing else on you at that point. They're digging in the bottom of the barrel. And it proved to be true, by the way. But 2 weeks ago, Mayor-elect Mullins got 648 votes. Outgoing Mayor Lockley got 520. Yesterday, from 648 to 898 for Mullins, and yesterday it went from 520 2 weeks ago to 639 for Lockley. So their vote totals went up, as you would expect, because the votes for Myers and Veal were spread between them. Mostly, some people just didn't show up for the other, for the runoff. But very similar turnout and the same exact result, because Mayor-elect Mullins had the highest vote total 2 weeks ago. And then yesterday. Here's what you have to like about Bruce Mullins. Go get today's Enterprise Journal or go to their website and read the interview they did with Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. And then go to his Facebook. Go to his Facebook and read what he posted this morning. This is something that we haven't seen in quite a while in the city of Macomb. I'm going to read it to you. 2 hours ago, Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins posted on his Bruce Mullins for Mayor of Macomb page, Wednesday morning, I awoke as usual to thank God for another day, and then it hit me. It wasn't a dream. I am actually the mayor-elect of the city that I love. That's great phrasing. Great writing there. Before I had even seen any of the election results, I remembered that the first congratulatory call came from Mayor Lockley. I'm looking forward to us working together over the next few months to create a smooth transition while keeping the needs of our citizens first in mind. I want to express my deepest gratitude to every voter, volunteer, supporter, and believer who made this moment possible. The victory belongs to all of us, to every neighborhood, every family, and every person who loves Macomb and wants to see it thrive. It's exactly what I'm talking about. When you try to break this down into a racial thing, because it was veiled. Nobody ever comes right out and just says what they're trying to say because, oh, no, that's not it. You can't make a deal out of whether or not somebody had more white people than the other one did vote for them. That's all it was. It doesn't matter. That does not matter. That is immaterial. If you are a citizen of Macomb, you're a citizen of Macomb, period. And we see how effective that strategy was, right? Mayor-elect Mullins went on. Sorry, I distracted myself for a moment there. Mayor-elect Mullins went on. Over the coming months, my focus will be on unity, transparency, and service. We have real work ahead. Strengthening public safety, improving our infrastructure, and restoring trust in city leadership. But I am confident that together we can build the Macomb our children and grandchildren deserve. Thank you for your faith in me. I will work every day to honor it. Fantastic public statement after last night's win. Fantastic. He said his first focuses are going to be lowering crime and getting the audits done. Now, to be fair, to be totally even across the board, we were told that 4 years ago. That was Mayor Lockley's platform 4 years ago. Said he was the only candidate that had a plan to lower crime. Going to get the finances in order. Have they made some progress? Yes. Have they made 4 years worth of progress? I'm not sure you can reasonably make that argument on the finances. Crime? Yeah, no, hadn't happened. You can try desperately to angle it in the light to make sure you're getting the good side of the data and talk it up and fluff it up and make it all puffy and pretty. And still at the end of the day, you've got hundreds of shots being fired in a month inside the city limits. People getting shot, people getting killed. Gunfights in the Lowe's parking lot in broad daylight. Yeah. That's the problem with making claims that are easily verified to be false. Things are fine. Everything's fine. I don't know what you're upset about. Oh, those flames are decorative. Don't worry about that. We're not burning everything down. That's just us to spruce it up and make it look shiny and pretty. Just go on about your business. Yeah, nobody's buying that. Absolutely no one. And they proved it yesterday at the ballot box. Now, here's what we're looking at moving forward. We will have, come July 1st, Mayor Bruce Mullins, Select Woman at Large, Shawn Thompson, the Ward 3 Selectman, Terry Waterman Baylor, the Ward 4 Selectman will be Sean Williams, the Ward 5 Selectman will be Kizzy Coney. Ward 1, of course, was unopposed. Tommy McKenzie will be back for another term there. Ward 2 is the only one we have left. And that's why I said we're not done yet. You still have one more choice to make because incumbent Selectman Matt Cotting in Ward 2 facing off against Tiffany Gordon, that will be the only thing on the ballot where a decision is being made in the general election. Only people that live in Ward 2 will see that race, obviously. You'll still have a general election, and everybody needs at least one vote. Everybody's got to get at least one vote in the general election out of all the people that have won their primaries and everything else. But we do still have one to go in Ward 2 coming up about a month. We'll have the general election, and then we'll move on. After the general election, it's bang, bang. It's pretty quick. They will swear everybody in at the end of June, 1st of July. We're off to the races with the new administration. I do want to point out The interesting thing to me is that, and we already had this last time when Matt Cotting was elected in Ward 2. He was new. Nobody knew him. It wasn't the same old, same old. The voters of Macomb in across the board rejected the same old, same old. We had the same names. I saw people complaining because why is it always the same 5 people that are running for office? Mayor Lockley was going for a 3rd term, got defeated. Devontae Johnson got defeated in Ward 3. Ronnie Brock got defeated in Ward 5. The usual people that we have gotten used to seeing in politics in Macomb all got sent home by the voters. Maybe that, I'm not going to say we've completely turned a corner, but maybe we're easing around it now a little bit. And the voting base in the city of Macomb has come to realize that if you want different results, you have to make different choices. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over, but this time it'll be better. No, it never works that way. Never. And I'm starting to get some hope that we have figured that out. That would be nice. That would be fantastic. I got a confession. I slept better last night than I've slept in a while. And for that reason, not tied to any one person, not tied to any one thing other than, I don't know if you can feel it, it feels like there is now hope for some change. We now have hope that things can be better. I say that, but have a little bit of a caveat to that. Not a big one, but we'll get into that when we come back. Congratulations to Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. I may spend the rest of the show just saying Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins over and over and over at this point. We'll talk about what's next right after this. Keep it here.
It's been a long time that we've been apart. Much too long for a man who needs life. I miss you since I've been away. Babe, wasn't easy to leave you alone. It's getting harder, something I know.
Southwest Supply Company is your local source for supplying your office, restaurant, concession stand, or household, cleaning and janitorial supplies, food service items, and more. We're proud to be able to deliver all of your office supplies, office furniture, and business machines. Call 601-684-5521 or visit us at 1036 Gordon Covington Road in Summit. Southwest Supply Company, delivering weekly to Macomb, Brookhaven, and surrounding areas.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't escape in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Hear my friend.
weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on. Welcome back. Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County. Dave Hughes on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Totally off subject before we get back to that. There is a radio station in the United Kingdom, Radio Caroline, who have issued an apology. They had a computer error at their studio, and yesterday afternoon broadcast the preset ready-to-go message that King Charles had died. And then it automatically started observing moments of silence and all of the usual stuff. And then, of course, they had a complete freak out in the studio and cut it all off. My favorite part, though, is a computer error at the studio. It tells me nobody was in the studio, because the second that starts, you know what it is, and you reach up and kill it right then. No, it was on automation. And nobody was listening to their station because the entire message played, and it even says, Radio Caroline then fell silent, as would be required, which alerted us to restore programming and issue an on-air apology. See, there's part of the gear, part of the setup in radio, there is a silence detector. If there is silence on the air for more than whatever time you set, it sets off an alarm and sends text messages to the people who are in charge of keeping it on the air. So nobody was listening to their station. That's what that tells me. Nobody amongst the staff. And until they got that text message or that email or however they have theirs set up, they had no clue. They had no idea what had just happened. You know, we've kind of had that situation with Macomb City government for almost 8 years. No one seems to know what happened. Have you noticed that? That has been an ongoing problem. Hopefully we can fix that, but there are two caveats, actually, that I want to get to regarding everyone's excited, everybody's happy with the outcome of the election. Been a long time since I've been able to say that, but everybody's happy. But there are a couple of things we need to remember here. Number one, as I told you just a moment ago, we have one more race to be decided next month in the general election. That's Ward 2 Selectmen. So Ward 2 needs to be out and talk about who you want to make the decision. That's coming up. So we're not done voting yet. Don't go, oh, good job, and, just stop. Number two, the much more important caveat. We have Mayor-elect Mullins and quite a few new faces going to be sitting around that table because, you got Shawn Thompson, going to be the select woman at large. Terry Waterman Baylor is coming back. Sean Williams is coming back from last administration. Kizzy Coney, brand new. So out of the seats around that table, Selectman McKenzie and Terry Waterman Baylor in Ward 3 so far are the only two returning. Everybody else, including the mayor, out. Let me preface this by saying change is good. However, I have not seen Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins' house, haven't been to his house. But I suspect it's not inside a giant brass lamp. The man's not a genie. None of these people elected to the board have magical, mystical powers. And they take office July 1st, and by July 3rd, everything is back to normal. No. It doesn't work that way. It takes work. It takes effort. It takes attention. It takes dedication to turn things around. This is a great step one. You can't turn around if you don't have the right driver, right? Well, now we have to watch. Now we have to wait and see how this process is going to progress. Because it will take time. I mean, crime did not shoot through the roof in the city of Macomb over one weekend. It's been years that it has been increasing. It is not going to be solved. It is not going to be done away with in another weekend. It can't. It's not possible. So they'll take office on the 1st, which is a Wednesday, July 1st. So the July 4th weekend, right after they take over, the new board, the new mayor. What we have to do is be patient and give some time. Because unlike Mayor Lockley, who was starting his second term 4 years ago, we already had a little bit of a track record. Made some concessions because of some of the people that were sitting around the board table while he was mayor for the first go. But Mayor Lockley talked a good game. It didn't really work out that way. The people didn't feel that way, obviously. But now, we have to be patient. I can see it coming. The people who have been critical of Mayor-elect Mullins during the campaign, the very first thing that happens after he's sworn in, probably before then, to be honest, you're going to see people griping about how things are. He's still the Ward 5 selectman. He's not the mayor of anything yet. People are going to be complaining. I thought this was going to be different. I thought you were going to fix this. The man's magic wand is in the shop. I think they're having to reload the glitter or something. I don't know what they're doing to it, but it's in the shop. So until that comes back and we can magically wave it and make everything better, it's going to take work. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. So we have to be patient and we have to be supportive, because the first instance of us having a bad day, if you start shrieking, congratulations, you're part of the problem at that point. That's how a 2-year-old acts. Now, the problem is, and this is where I get in trouble sometimes, I'm not the kind of person to look at a 2-year-old who's running around acting silly. You know, that's a 2-year-old's job. That's what they're here for. Running around acting silly, and you tell them 5 times, now you got to stop running around in here. Go out in the yard if you want to run around. You're gonna fall into something. You're gonna hurt yourself. Well, sure enough, a few minutes later, they're running around, bang, right into an end table. Knock their head. As a parent, you have a couple of different options there. You can either, now, as a Gen Xer, you know which way I would lean. You can either say, well, that hurt, didn't it? Told you it was going to hurt. If you're going to act like that, run around in the yard. Or you can go over and say, oh my goodness, did that mean old table hurt you? You know, it's not your fault. You wouldn't do nothing except what you were told not to do. And it wound up being self-destructive. And now you want to whine and want me to blame something else for it? No, you did it. You headbutted the credenza. It's your fault. It's kind of the feeling from, the last couple of elections. Well, you got what you asked for. Quit whining. This time, same thing. Except we have to have, just like you do at the start of every administration, we have to have a grace period. There has to be time to sort all of this out. I suspect that the audit situation will accelerate a little bit now. The crime situation, that's a little bit of a thornier bush to try to weed. It can be done, but it's going to take some big changes to the way we look at things, the way we do things, everything about the situation. So we will see how we progress starting July 1st, but you have to give it some time. If you're expecting by July 2nd a brand new day and a whole new Macomb, at best, and I'm being kind here, you're unrealistic. I don't know if you recall, I said the same thing 4 years ago. Because again, the administration before that, when you had sitting selectmen requesting the keys to the evidence locker at the police station because we're in charge here, after that administration ended and we had some changes on the board, I made the same argument for Mayor Lockley. You got to give it some time. It's a different group, not working against the things that were being worked against in the last administration. Not the same level of chaos. So I think we got to give it a chance. We got to wait a while and see how this works out. Now, mind you, of course, we then proceeded to wait a while and we saw how it worked out. So, but same thing every time when you have a big change. The mayor and half of the board are going to be new people this time around. Or at the very least, people who aren't on the board right now. So when you change 4 out of 7, you get an entirely different dynamic. It's going to take a little bit to settle out. Now, when I say little bit, I don't mean 3 years. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get into the rhythm of working together. So, yes, it is 1,000,000% appropriate to have some hope. To have a good attitude, to have a chance to look forward to the future for once, instead of dreading it, because that's kind of been the way things have worked for about a decade. Not quite, but about a decade. We'll have to see, how everybody mixes, how the interactions go. And if we luck out, we've got some good people on the board. And if they all get together and all pull in the same direction, it could wind up being the best of all possible scenarios. It could be a very boring 4 years. How many times have you heard me say that good governance is boring? There are no arguments. There are no fights. One member of the board doesn't draw back to try to punch another member of the board. I was there that night. That was not this administration, but the last administration. They just show up, do their job, do it well, go home. It's boring. The work happens behind the scenes. The work worth doing is usually boring to any outside observer. So I am hoping we're going to turn this into like a limerick show or something if this comes to play. Because hopefully it is going to be after the first month or so and we get a lot of things done, it's just going to be boring for the most part. That's my hope. I've been saying that for years. I would love to walk in the door and have nothing to talk about. Hasn't been the case, has it? Ever. So we will have to wait and see, but we have to be patient. The citizens of Macomb voted for change yesterday. Decisively voted for change. We have to give that change time to happen. So I'm not saying don't criticize. If you see something you don't like, that's how we course correct. That's how we adjust. What I am saying is don't immediately dogpile on July 2nd because your pothole isn't filled in yet. Give it about a month and then start complaining. I mean, you can complain, but again, magic wand in the shop. Takes time to sort all of this out. And part of that time is going to be getting into City Hall and figuring out what kind of mess they're dealing with. Because there's a mess. That has become crystal clear that there's a mess at City Hall. You don't get a letter from the state auditor because everything's going great. There's a mess. How big is that mess? Well, we won't find out until Mayor Mullins is sworn in and takes office on July 1st. Until then, not really going to know. So that's going to be the first step of the process. That's going to be the first thing. Because this is the first time in 8 years that we haven't had some portion of the group that has been running for every office out there in quite a while. That this is the first time in 8 years we've got fresh eyes coming in with a new perspective. New friends, different friends. So it's going to be looked at in a different way. That, by the way, is in no way a bad thing. Look at where the usual way of doing business has gotten us. It's going great, isn't it? We'll see where we go from here, but, you know, maybe we can stop digging down. Maybe we can start digging up. That would be a pleasant change, wouldn't it? Congratulations again to Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. 58% of the vote. Well done. Good job. Had sharp-looking signs, too. I don't know if, I'm sure you saw a sign, but it's sharp-looking signs. We continue on this Wednesday morning after this.
'Cause you ain't worth the salt in my tears. Feeling neglected, used and rejected. You need a shoulder to lean upon. Maybe your victim found your next victim. Don't worry, someone will come along. I know the spell is again.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
No one can make this better. Take control, it's now or never. Are you sick of it? Raise your hands, get rid of it. While there's a fighting chance. Are you over it? Bored to death? Have you had enough regret? Take a stand, raise your hands. If you're sick of it, if you're sick of it.
Welcome back. Apparently you were. SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County. Got a text I just want to respond to. Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. Okay. Talked about the weather early, right at the beginning of the show. I do want to go back and specify what we're looking at forecast-wise. We're going to have some flash flooding. The areas that I always refer to as the usual suspects. You know where they are in your corner of Pike County. If we get a lot of rain, they flood. They're going to have standing water. Happens every time, right? Well, they're going to have standing water by the end of the weekend. The rainfall totals for the next 7 days right here in Pike County, southwest Mississippi. 5 to 7 inches. We're going to get about an inch a day if you average it out between now and the middle of next week. You heard me reading the forecast. We got 80% chance today, 60% tomorrow, and that's the best day we got coming, 60% tomorrow, 100% Friday, 90% Saturday. Sunday, yeah, rain. Monday, Memorial Day, guess what? Thunderstorms. Tuesday, oh sure, thunderstorms. Why not? It's starting to rain today, and it's not going to stop. So just be aware of that. I mean, don't run out in the yard flailing your arms over your head like Kermit the Frog. It's not a panic situation. It's just going to be wet, and it's going to stay wet, and the usual places are going to flood. That makes it imperative that you pay close attention, and even if you're paying attention, it might not help. We saw 2 different roads down in the south part of Pike County, the last big rain event that we had a few weeks ago, that washed out around a culvert. Now, you're driving up to it, even if there's no water over it, the road looked fine. Couldn't really see. But boy, as soon as the weight of the car gets on it, straight down you go. And if there's water over the road, you have no idea what's under it. So don't go, oh, I know where the road is. It's going to be fine. No, you don't know what's under there. That's advice for the next week because that rain is going to continue to pile up. What is the official? Let me look at it here. Yeah, like 3 to 5 to 6 inches that we're looking at here. We're going to get a lot of rain. Going to be a lot of water. Drive carefully and remember that. I know it's a corny slogan. Everything had to be turned into a corny slogan. Turn around, don't drown, but it's accurate. So just keep that in mind as you're going around. Now, in other news, currently, President Trump stands at a 95% success rate with his endorsements. That's ridiculous. He endorses you, yeah, you're pretty well going to win. Thomas Massey found that out last night. A lot of people have found that out. And a lot of things are about to change in Washington no matter what. I think we're about to see an interesting show in the elections in November. Because as usual, you have the Democrats running around going, oh, he's going down this time. You've been saying that for a decade. Shut up. I just think it's going to be a different show. And if it is, we're going to see some probably different results, I would think, in terms of what is done in Washington. There was a lot of change in the air yesterday, wasn't there? We had it here. We had it nationally. A lot of change. Now, I know change can be scary, but do you notice when you're really mad at the status quo, all of a sudden change is your best friend? Gives you a warm, happy feeling inside to see change happening. Even if sometimes it's not the change you wanted, you still go, well, good. Finally, maybe we can get something different. But I would ask you, once again, temper your expectations, whether it be in Macomb, whether it be with the state elections next year, whether it be with the national elections coming up in November. Specifically, temper the timeline of your expectations. We live in an instant gratification now society. None of this works that way. It takes a minute to get the wheels of government moving, much less to change the direction you're traveling down the road. So yes, Thomas Massey, who's been in there some ridiculous number of terms. He's been there for a minute. Senate race in Kentucky. Mitch McConnell, of course, retiring. He did not run for re-election. He's been there for 40 years, which is its own separate problem we'll talk about another day, because I don't have the time left in the show to talk about it. I remember, who was it? Oh, man, I cannot remember who said it. I'll look it up and I'll let you know. Who made the great quote that said, politicians should be changed as frequently as babies' diapers, and for the same reason. Yeah. I'm sorry, 40 years in office? 40 years in office was too long. Like him or not, that's too long. Now, I'm not pie in the sky enough to believe that we'll ever have term limits. But when Bill Cassidy, I said this on the morning show yesterday, when Bill Cassidy lost on Saturday in the primary, finished third, he will not be returning. That was the first time an incumbent senator has lost their primary since 2012. That's not the way any of this is supposed to work. People should be changed out. We should try different approaches, different ways of dealing with things. Especially if you're not entirely happy with the way things are going, you change boat captains. There's only so many times you want to be running to the dock before you realize you're scratching my paint job up on this. Put a lot of work and time and money into this boat. Quit messing it up. And then you go with somebody else. We don't do that, though. But we're kind of seeing a movement towards that right now. I will say this. I will say this. If you think 40 years is bad, 12 wouldn't have been that hot, in my opinion.
If you cried out for more, if you reached out for me, I would run to the store.
Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. Oh, I'm going to keep saying it. Final break. We shut it down for this Wednesday right after this on SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County. My friend, keep it here.
Let me take a step towards you. Let me feel you in my hands. Let me cross this line and show you where it leads. There's a darkness down inside me that I know we'll both enjoy, and it's screaming from within to set it free.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalk, PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the break. SuperTalk, PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
Closing time.
Well, I just went down a rabbit hole during the break. The quote, politicians are like diapers. They should be changed frequently and for the same reasons. It's attributed to Mark Twain by a lot of people, but that's not accurate. Paul Harvey used it in his show and attributed it to Tom Blair, a columnist for the San Diego Union Tribune. That was in Reader's Digest. They attributed it to him. But then you dig back and you find out that Blair himself said he was quoting a libertarian candidate for a local office named John Wallner. He used the line repeatedly, trying to win a congressional seat in 1992. He lost. The Los Angeles Times used that line and attributed him and called it the best line in a losing cause. So that line comes from John Wallner. You know, the loser. Where they just stuck with what they already had, so apparently nobody was listening to him. Still love that line. It's a beautiful line. And oh so true. Smile! The sun's out right this second. I can see it through the slats on the blinds. It's a good day. We'll do this again for North Pike Thursday tomorrow morning at 9:06. Right here on Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County, my friend. I'll see you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.